Good day, everyone, and thank you. Thank you so much for joining us as we explore real estate markets all over the world. Our mission is to educate you on real estate possibilities outside of your own city. And there are so many. So we wish to connect you with experts throughout the world who can take a dream and make it a reality. And we have successfully matched buyers and agents in the year and a half that we've been hosting the Explore series. And we can intend to continue turning those goals into real life with the collaboration of agents from those countries, from our 850 Keller Williams offices nationally and our 51 global regions and growing. So today, we have the best of the best in their respective areas joining us. Today is something special. So sit back, take a moment, and think about this as a lifestyle. Year-round sun, a choice of beach or mountains within a few hours of you. Think affordability, and a central geographic European location where most of its boundaries are water. We all love that. Now think of pictures of refreshing sangria, delicious cuisine. I mean, what more can you want, really? What more that you want is real estate. You want a place there to call your own. That's what you want. And that is what we're going to feature today as this country delivers on all of it. Today, we are talking about Spain. So when most of us think of Spain, our mind immediately gravitates to those great European cities of Madrid and Barcelona, but not to be missed is the history of Sevilla and the beach towns located on no less than like 5,000 miles of sun-covered sands along the Spanish coastline. When you think of Spain, you may also think of partygoers that are up to watch the sunrise after a night hitting the mega clubs of Ibiza. I can't do that anymore, but it sounds like a lot of fun. When you're also thinking of Spain, likely your mouth waters with the thoughts of wine and paella, and maybe you even dance a little bit thinking of the sounds of the flamenco of southern Spain. But some don't realize the extraordinary variety packed into this small country. The mainland is diverse with the rolling hills of Andalusia, the contrast of the cool Atlantic coast to the warm, calm Mediterranean, or the snow-covered Sierra Nevada and the Pyrenees mountain ranges that stretch down to the desert. And of course, let's not forget my personal favorite off the mainland. I was just there a few weeks ago, the islands, the Canary and the Balearic Islands. Spectacular. So if you've considered Spain for a retirement or vacation home, you are not alone. Foreigners make up a staggering 12% of the population and live in every single one of Spain's official regions. So today we are joined by KW Spain and our friends, Karen and Michele. Welcome to Explore. Thank you for joining us. We are super grateful to have you with us today. And in just a minute, I'm going to have you introduce yourself and share with our audience just a little bit about what makes you so special. But a quick little housekeeping tip. If you are watching, special request, please tag your friends or your clients, put their info in our comment box so that they can find this episode. And please find us, Finale Residential Group, on our YouTube channel for past episodes that we feature international destinations and also some destinations in the U.S. And if you're an agent learning from Let's Explore, please share it with your office. Connecting is the key. So back to our guest this hour. Karen, ladies first, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Janet. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me over and for the invitation. It is really a pleasure to be in touch once again. Mainly, I understand that we have connection with agents from Austin. Whilst I have joined KW Marbella 5 years ago, where I really stepped for the very first time into real estate. As we all know, probably real estate is a second career for most of us. and at least it's been my case. I'm coming from a marketing background, and where here I am. I've been Rookie of the Year in the 2017, my first year. 2018, I started my team, with my first assistant and my first buyer's agent, and slowly we've been growing. We are today a team of 8 people belonging to the market center of Marbella. And in GCI and volumes of sale, we are number 1 at the national level. So here we are. I'm also the general manager of KW Luxury Spain, which is actually the boutique brand that we've launched at the beginning of the year in Spain. And I'm coordinating with our market centers all over Spain. I mean, to introduce and develop the structure inside the market centers for the KW Luxury brand.
Wonderful. That's a lot of accolades and a great resume. So thank you for sharing that with us. Michele, what can you add?
Well, Jan, it's such a pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much for having me here. And well, as you can see, my name is not Spanish, okay? And as Karen, we actually are from a different country, but we live here in Spain. So we made this place as our hometown. That means that this nation is welcoming everyone, as it did, I think, 10 years ago with me. So I just came from London after moving around Europe, bought my house here, and start working as a real estate. I'm with Keller Williams now, I think 6 years. I'm actually also in the same market center with Karen, KW Marbella, and right now in the position of ATL, and I'm in charge of the foreign real estate agent. You have to know there's a lot of people over here, they speak just English, and the thing is they can't even work as a real estate agent, because in Spain, you actually don't need to be licensed. So I'm in charge of that part of the site. Going out of production, I had my team being top 5 in Spain for a few years in volume of sales, and right now on the other side, on the leadership side.
Nice. So it sounds like business is great because everybody's volume is so high. So congratulations to that. Well, you guys are perfect examples coming from other countries. So we're going to talk a little bit about what attracts people, and maybe you could put in your own anecdotes there. For those of you that are watching, because we have agents and we have just regular citizens that are curious and interested about properties in other countries, we're going to have some Q&A with our experts, and then at the end, we're actually going to share some properties. I think we have 5 properties to share with you today. And so audience, please be prepared to take notes on those, and also to take note at the end, we will show you the contact information for Michele and Karen. So please make sure to have that, have a pen and paper available to be able to write your information down, because of course they are your experts, and we want to be able to connect you with someone who's qualified to be able to help you with this purchase. So off camera, you don't see sweet Amanda and Megan, but they will help and coordinate bringing properties on and off, and they'll bring the contact information up here for you. So they're actually the brains behind it. Explore, I can assure you, they're just not on camera today with us. But we'll have that contact information for your future business. So when you're in Spain, you can make that purchase, or if you just want to have some wine, call them. I'm sure that they'd love to see you and be your hosts. So let's start with this. Spain, from my research, I'm showing they have the highest ownership rates in Europe. Around 80% of the residents in Spain own property. And foreign buyers are right along there with them. So as you mentioned, your examples of this. So what attracts buyers to Spain, and kind of who are these buyers? Are they families? Are they retirees? Tell us a little bit about the attraction and who's coming. Michele, why don't you start
Well,
for us?
Yes, absolutely. You are absolutely right, Janet. You have to know that 1 out of 6 property bought in Spain is being by a foreigner, not by a Spanish citizen. So that explains how attractive this country is. And buy actually welcomes, everyone to buy in Spain. As I say, I do have properties here, and I bought it when I used to live in London, Karen too. So it's something which is really welcome. On the second hand, who is actually moving to Spain? You have to understand that when you buy in Spain, you buy quality of life. Okay, that's the most important thing. So everyone who's looking actually to rise, the standard of life, this is when they actually buy here in Spain. If we say that 1 out of 6, okay, of the purchase being made by foreigner, there are some places like, for example, Marbella, where over 50% of the property bought are actually by foreign people. So it's really attractive. Right now we have places where you don't have to speak English, okay? Like, for example, Marbella is completely bilingual, so you can speak English in a shop and whatever, and it's perfectly fine. So kind of people are coming, family, okay, as I said, is young family. They want to improve their life, they want to spend more time with the kids. My example was clear. I used to live in London, used to work 80 hours a week, had 2 kids, and London is a wonderful city. I love London, but when it comes, you have to put family first. I couldn't see my kids growing inside an apartment. So even if they have the most beautiful parks, since we could move over here, they could run outside. It's a safe place. This is really important. What we were looking actually was safety for family, and Spain is really a safe place. So that even criminality is really ridiculous compared to other country. So it's a nice place where you can rise up your family. So you've got lovely beaches. You have lovely garden, good scholarship, okay, really good scholarship, even when it comes to health, really good hospital, public hospital, they're really good, which attracts, of course, lots of European coming over here, even for retirement. We have 2 groups, young family, we have freshly retired people who maybe purchased a property, and because wherever you are in Spain, you're around 2 hours flight. And I remember I used to run a restaurant and had my clients just coming over the weekend to Spain. So it's quite common, on a Friday, you put your bag, your golf club, and you fly to Spain, you play golf over the weekend, and on Sunday you're back to work. So that's quite common over here.
Well, I understand that there's about 5.5 million foreigners living in Spain, and born in another country and choosing Spain as a home. So that's a substantial number relative to other countries. And I know, obviously I wasn't a resident there, but the 3 weeks that we were just in Spain, you really do embrace visitors, and it was very, very comfortable, and the lifestyle amazing. Amazing. I was trying not to come back, but unfortunately I had to come back. So I can see that. I can see that attraction. Karen, what can you kind of add to the idea of what the big draw is for buyers to purchase in Spain?
Well, I definitely agree with Michele. I think Spain has been traditionally a country of immigration. The Spanish culture is probably very open. Spanish people are very open-minded, and it's fantastic. In such most cities, for instance, as Mark, where we both live, and myself, to see the united community. You actually community from all, and we are seeing lots of North buyers also coming lately to Marbella. And I would say altogether it's probably the lifestyle, the climate, we are being so definitely post weather is very warm in winter, It's not that warm, hot in summer. And I would say people are coming from for the culture, for the weather, for the nice weather throughout the year, for the friendly lifestyle and the friendly way of living and of Spanish people in general. And probably also we are seeing also a little change, because if 20 years ago, what we were seeing mostly, you know, in South Spain, where it was a place for people to retire, for European citizens to retire because of the 70 Gulf valleys that, you know, we have all around us. But lately, there's a little change for the last 2 years, for instance, of the Silicon Valley of Europe. You know, it's a place where we're seeing, you know, I mean, with the pandemic, we all realized that we can work from home, we can work on computer base, and then we're seeing more and more Scandinavian young families that are settling down here in South Spain, mainly about the looking for a nice quality of life, weather, good view. And let's not forget that Spain offers today the cheapest cost of life. So really very attractive. And Janet, you mentioned a few weeks ago, probably you can testify that restaurants, supermarkets, hotels are really amazing, and it costs, let's say, half than whatever you would pay in France, for instance.
Yes, I understood that too, that it was less expensive than European countries. And that was very surprising. And obviously, I think the economy, the stability of the economy, the ability for people to work from Spain. I know some American buyers who work in Spain, and Spain has the highest rate of employment among foreigners. It's 88% of the foreigners who live in Spain are actually working. And so not just for another company, like a Canadian or a US or a foreign company within Spain, but it's not too difficult to even set up a business for yourself in Spain. And so that's a significant percentage compared to other countries throughout not just Europe, but throughout the world. So that speaks volumes for just the economic viability. I mean, everybody wants a wonderful lifestyle and great climate, but the fact is we all need money, right, to live. So if you can do this from a place that has good stability economically and also good appreciation in your real estate, then it makes a good financial choice as well. Let me ask you, Michele, you just kind of briefly, can you give us sort of the process of the rules for buying a property in Spain as a foreigner? My understanding is that it's relatively straightforward, but can you give us some of the basics?
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to be very quick. And the good thing is, doesn't make any difference if you're a foreign buyer or if you're a Spanish buyer. So exactly, you have the same law. So you have the same rights and the same process. Okay, that's just one thing which changes when you sell your property. Okay, but when you purchase a property, it doesn't make any difference. It's more or less similar as any other country. Okay, you buy a property, you have to pay some taxes. That depends, okay, on the purchase, on the price purchase. It could go around between 8 and 10%, okay, of the price. It depends, of course, on which region. Every region is different, but we'd say roughly this is how much it will cost you in terms of taxes when you buy a property. So around 8–10%, depending on the price. What else do you have to do? Yes, you need to have a bank account, but that could be done easily. In order to buy, you need to be to have a NIE, which is like a registration as a foreigner. Okay, that also could be sorted out quite easily. You actually can do that even in the United States. If you go to the consulate, they can arrange it for you, but that's something you need. Anyway, when you buy, I always suggest you to get a solicitor. Okay, A solicitor for buying a property will cost you around 1.5% of the purchase price. Okay, so just to have in mind. So let's say cost, if you're talking about cost, around 10% mediumly. Okay, you have to add that 10% of expenses, okay, to get everything sorted out. What else you should know? If you need finance, okay, if you need a mortgage. So if you are Spanish, you can get up to 80%, okay? If you are a European citizen, you can get up to 60, maybe 65. If you are no European citizen, like someone from the United States, up to 50%. Okay, those are the three factors. And everything else is crazy.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you because I'm always taking notes on here too. You said if you're European, it's up to what percentage?
About 60, 65, depending
60,
on some banks,
65,
but not
okay.
more than 65, more or less.
And then 50
If you're a
for
Spanish
non-
citizen, you can get 80%, or if you're a Spanish resident, tax resident, okay? If you're not European, that means outside of the EU, then up to 50%, but no more than 50%.
Perfect.
And
So,
the only thing, I'm sorry, which is different for a foreigner is when he sells the property, the government will retain a 3% of the selling price. Okay, that's for tax reason, because it happens most of the time that, okay, we do the closing and notary, so there were foreign people maybe selling the house, taking the plane in the afternoon, and hasta luego. Okay. That's the reason, you know, that the government is taking from the sales price 3%.
right,
So the buyer is actually in charge of paying the taxes.
the
That's the
buyer.
only difference. But yes, found that.
Okay.
What else can I say? Cost of notary is depending on some region, but usually the cost of the notary of the closing is the buyer paying it. But that's exactly the same if it's a Spanish or Spanish resident or is a foreign. But it's not complicated. It's not heavily complicated. But I always ask, you know, I always advise you to get legal advice, get a good solicitor, because yes, you have to check on the paperwork, you know.
Right, of course.
Because we're not licensed here, so as you can understand, they are really good agent like Karen, okay, on top. But also true that you can find people actually the day before they've never been in real estate. So be careful.
Sure. We have that here too. That's why it matters who you work with. Absolutely. So Karen, and I know this is a really broad question, so it's fine for it to be a broad answer. What would you say over the last few years, how has the real estate appreciation fared? Is it flat? Is it on the rise?
Well, so generally what I mean, there was like a major year that has a couple of major years that they have influenced, I would say, the real estate market. So as like all over, I think 2007 has been probably this top and maximum level where prices were they just went in real estate. It was that bubble that just exploded, and then from 2007 and up to 2012, 2000, it's been 5 years of a deep real estate crisis where prices went down between a 50 and 50%. If you can imagine. So then, you know, slowly in 2013, we've seen once again the market gaining strength, and prices until 2018. 2018 was a big of the market when once again we start going slowly down. I wouldn't say that there were major going up and down, you know, in prices, but it's I mentioned probably 20-30%, you know, in 2013, 14, 2015. then slightly going down. I mean, Spain, and especially here in Costa del Sol, since 2000, we've been big inventory on the market that has not been absorbed yet. And it's a bit curious what we've seen since the COVID time. You know, where a bit everyone was expecting the prices to go down because we had such a big inventory. And actually what happened that we've seen a big amount of buyers coming, at least here in Costa del Sol and Marbella, coming from all over Europe. And we kind of, I mean, since the beginning of the year, I had this personal feeling that we once again entered into a little bubble, because all of a sudden we were selling very fast and much more expensive than the previous year. So I feel like this year, once again, I think it's pretty early and we don't have numbers and statistics, and maybe we don't have a global panorama of what happened in the market at a national level. But at least here in Marbella, what I can tell you is that definitely 2021, the market picked up again, especially the luxury market, where we've seen a major improvement. The numbers I have so far is that the properties above 1 million euro have tripled the number of sales. So let's say that if last year or 2 years ago we were selling around, in such a small place as Marbella, we were selling around 200, 300 villas, you know, or properties above 1 million. I think this year we will be close to 800, 900 units sold.
Well, that's substantial. And we're hearing reports like that throughout the world. It's just remarkable. You know, how people have adjusted their expectations of where they can live and work. So that's wonderful to hear that the market there is very, very healthy. Michele, what would you say is the most popular real estate investment among foreign buyers?
Sorry, I lost you. Could you repeat?
What's the most popular real estate investment among foreign buyers? I mean, is it apartments? Is it single family homes? Is it rural, beach, city? What would you say, maybe in order, you know, the top 2 or 3?
Right. Okay, it depends. See, the good thing about Spain is so much different. Okay, I'll give you an example. I'm on the Costa del Sol, and on December you can see people on the beach, and then in the afternoon they take a car, and in an hour and a half they're skiing on the mountain. So this is what it's like. Spain. So there's so much, whatever you like, there are so many different places. Usually foreign people, they're looking for sun, okay, for lifestyle. So we have most of the foreign people, they're actually on the Costa del Sol. Andalusia is a great spot. The islands, okay, Canary Island, where basically it's summertime almost every 360 days a year. You have nice islands like Mallorca, Ibiza, and you have the big city. I know everyone in the United States, and that happened, you know, when I come to family reunion, make a conversation, I'm from Spain, everyone says, hey, Barcelona. So I know Barcelona is a big spot. You know, they have wonderful city like Barcelona. It's full of history, full of art, lovely people. So it depends. We have mountain north of Spain, so it's different. Usually people, they tend to come here for the sun, so they're looking more for a cost. Okay, and the good thing about Spain, I can tell you, you know, I used to own a 2-bedroom apartment in London, central London, and for what you can afford for a 2-bedroom apartment, you can buy a villa over here. So in terms of quality, you know, price, you definitely can get much better quality in Spain. So country house, usually they don't buy apartment. Okay, I see that then most of the people, they try to buy a house. Usually they buy a villa, they buy apartment. Maybe there's some investor, okay, they rather choose to buy like 10 apartments and put in, you know, for rent. That's fine. But sometimes someone who comes over here wants to enjoy the weather, the garden, the swimming pool. And as I said, you have to consider people that are coming here, they know that they work for a living. They
Right.
don't leave the work,
Right.
right?
Right.
And the good thing is, in the summertime, we have sunshine until 10:30 in the evening. So definitely there's lots of time you can enjoy, you know, on the beach with your kids, you know, walking around your dogs.
Right.
So it's that kind of environment.
Lots of different options. Well, let's see some of those options. Let's go ahead and switch over to some properties here. And I believe Karen's are first. Here we go. Okay. Oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, in Andalusia. I was there, as I said, I was just there a few weeks ago, for a few weeks, and we spent time at an eco retreat in Andalusia, and it was amazing. So I'm in love with that part of the world now. So tell me what I am looking at and what I'll need to spend to live there.
Well, Janet, of course, here we are speaking about an architect property. It's a masterpiece. Altogether, I would say it's a very, very, very competitive price, which is just below 4 million euros. And it's a masterpiece designed by one of the most famous contemporary architects in Spain, which is Joaquin Torres. It's a turnkey product that has just been released to the market. A beautiful piece. I've never seen actually such a detailed construction and so high materials and finishes into a property. Just to give you an idea, I mean, in the house, they spend over 800,000 euros just in marbles that came from Italy. It's travertine marble, and what you see, I mean, the facade all around the villa, it's all travertine marble, around 1,500 square meters. So it's an absolutely amazing piece. I mean, if you'd like to see a bit more details about this villa, we actually did a very nice campaign on YouTube. So if you go looking for Villa Millennium Car and Dadonn team, or just Via Millennium, we did it together with the Mauro brothers. We did a fantastic campaign. I think we had last year we were in 1.2 million viewings of this video. So I highly recommend you if you'd like to get to know a little bit more about this masterpiece. It's a beautiful property. I'm in love with this house.
Yes, me too. What do you have next for us?
Oh, this is another development that we have an exclusive sale agreement with this developer. We are working together since last year with Vite Villas. It's a very interesting concept that came from Amsterdam, which is actually highly efficient, energy efficient properties, and actually almost self-sufficient. So energy properties, all of them, they're very well integrated into nature, very respectful with nature. And this development is located, I would say, 20 minutes away from Marbella, up the hill, up the mountain. So you're just surrounded by green areas, full privacy, and with fantastic sea views, you know, at how do you say I'm missing a word in English, but I mean, it's just green, you know, forest, mountain, and then the sea at the end. So it's fantastic. Prices are very attractive. I think actually we still have one product left, which is actually the 7. Everything else has been sold, but the K7 is still available, and it's just below 2 million euros, 1,975,000. A fantastic concept, and I believe very, very high quality. The architect is George van der Vloef from Amsterdam, a very renowned European architect. And we've been very, very successful with this development because it's really a new architecture and a new design concept. You know, luxury villas integrated into nature. And actually, we sold them so quickly. So now we are preparing a couple of more products, that will come to the market in about a month.
And is this in a gated community?
It is, well, it's a white community. I won't say, that it's a gated community, but still it's a very secure. It's a kind of going up the mountain, and it's a dead end street. I mean, at a certain point, you can't go anywhere farther. And it has a lot of security cameras, a concierge at the entrance, but it's a very wide area, called Montemayor. And inside that area, you have different small communities. So I would say that these are like kind of private villas located in the same area called Montemayor. But altogether, as Michele said, it's a safe area.
It's beautiful. I love the design, and those green roofs are just stunning. Very, very nice. Okay, what is your third item you're going to share with us? Malaga.
Yeah, well, that's just about the same. Actually, I'm seeing here is, let me see. Well, actually, that's the K7 villa that we still have available. Is that the one I was mentioning to you? It's a villa that is under construction. It will be delivered in summer 2022. And it's just below 2 million euros. I mean, a very, very attractive price. And it's just the last unit available. As you can see, the infographs, the technology we've been using for the infographs was very avant-gardist, because, I mean, here the architects did an amazing job. Here we can't really see a lot from outside, but what they did is just through Google Earth, they had a topograph image of the entire valley and mountain, and then they just placed the house, and and through a 3D technology system, they could just make these renders that look actually more real than reality, and you could see the real view from every corner, the terrace of the house and the swimming pool. So I just love this concept of Vita Villas, because it's so much full of life, nature, and I mean, we sold it very well to Belgium clients. Actually, 50% of the villas were bought by Belgium citizens, but we had a Danish client, a Swedish client, and one of the latest that had been reserved from a family from Poland. So as you can see, we are just working with people from all over Europe.
Yeah, quite international. And what is the next property for us, Karen?
Okay, that's also a new project that actually it's going to be finished by next month, by the end of next month. This is the very typical area, San Pedro Alcantara, Guadalmina, which is one of the residential, the oldest residential area in Marbella. West Marbella, very close by the beach, is a new construction, steps away from the beach, I would say maybe 100, 150 meters from the beach. And it's an area where we have a lot of demand, because normally you have bigger properties there. But there is a very good, two very good international schools very close by. It's an area neighborhood very well connected to San Pedro Alcantara, which is a small city by the side of Marbella. And well, we've been working in this project actually with a very good local architect, Fernando Huete, and the developer is one of my clients that actually I've been working with for the last 3 years. Every time they build something and they take it to the market, I'm taking care of the sale. So hopefully in a month or so, it's going to be finished, and then definitely I expect it to sell very quickly.
Beautiful. I think some people might be surprised at the style of architecture, that it's less traditional and geared so much more towards modern, which is beautiful and always in demand. What do we have next up? Michele, please share
Yes,
this beautiful property with
that's,
us.
that's my baby. Okay, that's my latest baby. I go. Right, okay, what we got here, we got this wonderful villa. It's in Marbella, 5 minutes walking distance from the beach. Okay, you have two really nice restaurants close by, two international schools. So one is German, the other one is English. So two really good located. They're around, say, 30 minutes from the airport. So it's really close to the airport, so the international airport from Malaga. The price is really attractive. It's an urbanization which is called Hacienda Las Chapas. It's a nice place. You got 24 hours security, even if it's safe. You got camera all around. I know that because a few weeks ago we done an open house and we had security coming over, so they check on the street. So it's a really nice, safe area. The price is really attractive. It's a quick sale. We have already 6 off on the property. So Janet, if someone is looking right now live, please contact me. If you're looking that in a week time, pretty much sure it's going to be sold. Okay, what makes this property attractive? We're talking about 20% below market. Okay, and the good thing is the price. I haven't mentioned you. We do have a golden visa in Spain. That means if you purchase for 500,000 euro in property, you actually can get residency. So this property for 699 you get a nice villa, 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom. You got a lovely garden with this lovely swimming pool. And you got your own wheel, so actually it's even, you don't spend money on the water because you got your own wheel, you got your water naturally, plus you got residency. Okay, if you purchase the property, that means you can travel all around Europe without any problem. So what else you like? You got 2 restaurants, you got the beach at 5 minutes, half an hour from the airport, since your property.
I do. It checks a lot of the boxes. And I love seeing also something at this price point, because on average, the consumers who are purchasing, at least US and Canadian consumers that are purchasing second properties in other countries, spend on average about $750,000 on average. So with that number in mind, would you be able, Michele, maybe you know this, would you be able to maybe purchase a small apartment in Madrid or something? As evidenced by this, you can purchase something that's kind of a short walk to the beach. So there is affordability in and around that $750,000 US mark.
Well, when we talk about that range of price, okay, apartments, we're talking about 2-3 bedrooms in Madrid, center Madrid, okay, or Barcelona, talking about apartments, but that's more or less the price. If you go on the coast, depending where you're going, if you're going to Alicante, Valencia, if you're going to Tenerife, for that same amount of price, you actually can buy a really nice villa. I would say more on the style like Karen showed you. Okay, you can already go for something like that. If you come to Marbella, well, this is unique, but you still can buy a nice house, like on like a country home, okay, with lots of nice garden, nice olive trees, vineyard and winery. It's still affordable for that price, but you have to go more inland. Okay, the closer you're on the coast, of course, the smaller the house gets.
Well, it's easy to see from everything that you've shared with us why so many people choose Spain as a place to buy property. I think, having just spent a few weeks there, that diversity is one of your key strengths, between the landscape, the cuisine, and then the beautiful weather. And again, there was those thousands of miles of beaches that lure citizens from all over the world. I mean, who doesn't want that? And I think it's also no surprise that Spain has one of the longest life expectancies in the world, with its abundance of good, fresh food and just kind of a nice, relaxed attitude. And I think the importance of kind of the strong social ties. And we saw that everywhere. I was traveling with my mother and my daughter, and we were not alone. It was a lot of multi-generational dinners, people relaxing at the beach, grandparents down to babies. And I think the way you all entertain and kind of have a family as the focus of everything is probably what helps support that life expectancy. So congratulations on having the longest in the world. That's pretty remarkable. And as I said, having just been there, I know undoubtedly I could live there. My challenge would be in choosing which area. Costa del Sol is extraordinary. So are the islands, but I mean, I was in love with Madrid. So I mean, it just the options are endless. And I know Karen and I just missed each other in Marbella. Unfortunately, it was so sad, but that's just another of many, many reasons to return. Um, for all of you out there that are considering this, we know that demand has changed, and a lot of us are wanting really to spend less money on consumer goods and more on things that are more long lasting and memorable experiences. And you can definitely do that in a different country. I mean, there's no better way to live that kind of a lifestyle than a different culture in a different country. So the lure of those getaway places, whether it's city or beach, it is in your reach. Once considered just for the rich, we know, at least in America, that about 9.5 million Americans own a second home. That's substantial. And even just in the last 20 or so months, because of COVID, people have altered their possibilities. And there's been a 24% increase in America in second home ownership. That's a huge number. And we now understand why Spain not only is an obvious choice, but it is a standout choice. Um, so absolutely consider that. And and Michele and Karen, actually, Karen, I think I was telling Michele earlier, we actually have a lead for you all, a referral. So we'll send you that information offline. But we have someone looking, I think their budget is up to $50 million. So if that closes, we will celebrate alongside you. So keep us up to date. We might even come join you to celebrate if that closes. So in fact, audience, we are able to match your wants and needs with the experts who can find these properties for you. So do keep all of us in mind. In fact, we're going to put your contact information up here in just a minute. So please write down Karen and Michele's information so that you can save that and have them as your experts for all things Spain. Before you hop on a plane, give them a call and make sure that you connect with them. So unfortunately, today we are out of time. We will be joining you again next month. We don't have our country picked out yet, but we will be sharing that with you soon enough as we continue to explore markets that are all over the world. So thank you so much, the two of you, for what you've shared today. We value you, we value your expertise, and we're very, very thankful for your generosity. Again, audience, connect with these folks if the second home is even a little bit intriguing to you, and connect with your local Keller Williams agent. That's right, the agent that you use in your own city, because they're the conduit. They will connect you with another expert anywhere in the US, anywhere throughout the world. At Keller Williams, we want to be part of bringing your dreams into reality for you and your loved ones. So think about it. Thank you all again. Thank you for joining us too. And until next time, please take care of yourselves from the beautiful city of Austin, Texas. This is Jeanette Spinelli with the Spinelli Residential Group. We are your Austin, Texas real estate consultants. Now go out, make this a powerful day, stay healthy, and above all else, be kind. Thank you all.